had to fix the dent on this van here. You know, where I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, there's a city called South San Francisco. And in South San Francisco, there are a lot of car people. And this particular customer, he likes the old vans, you know, and I don't recall exactly, but I believe he backed into something and this dent has bugged him. And it's not an easy one on a van, right? Because when you're repainting a van, you have to paint the whole side. So a dent like this, if you could remove it and not disturb too much of the paint, people are happy to touch it up as long as you can make it look nice. And that's what keeps me busy in paintless dent repair. It doesn't matter the age. If you can do repairs that other people are turning down or a little afraid of, because this is not an easy one to do, but at the same time, you're working for car people and they don't fool around. It's not a used car lot. It's not for the dealership. This is for somebody in retail that wants to pay you money, but you better deliver. These vans are so cool to see again. People were putting all kinds of carpet and just like a living room decor inside, and these vans had the little oval windows. Fantastic. Well, this guy has his setup pretty nice. You know, this is a serious situation for a vehicle owner that is thinking about going to the body shop because they have to paint so much of the vehicle to get it to match. They look at these older vehicles and they kind of shy away from it because it's a big headache, and it's just, it could grow on them as far as the problems with it. Who knows how this paint was applied? Who knows any of that? So they try and avoid jobs like this, and that's why they're calling paintless dent repair technicians. I happen to be one 31 years now, and I do specialize in these older vehicles because I'm using a different process. And I technically concentrate more on the outer ring of pressure around the dent than I do in the center. And doing so, you'll find that you can raise damage without affecting the orange peel in the middle and affecting the paint. You're doing a lot of this work from the outsides and, of course, some very precision pushes from inside. So the idea here is to not crack any more paint and leave it ready for the touch-up guy. You know, one of the important parts of paintless dent repair is you got to make the money, and you have to be confident in every repair to stay busy. So in this case here, I got this dent that I have to make sure that that paint doesn't crack any further. And I don't want to really go up inside there and just start poking at it. First is your access. I mean, I got a bunch of wood up in there I can leverage off of. I can stick a rod up inside there, maybe a big hook, or maybe support it with some brackets, a piece of angle iron here. But look where I'm at if I'm doing that. I'm pushing this with a lot of power. I'm staring at it like this. So staring at it from here doesn't help you with the cross check here and here. So you just can't do that. You will not glass this that way. You have to look at it from multiple angles. What also creates an issue is this door right here. Because if you wanted to come in from the inside, you're having to now look over the side with the door in the way. In these old vehicles, you don't want to take the door off. So now I have pretty good access. This is dents. Let's see. Yeah, dents right here. So I'm under that brace. There's a gap there. Now I can get a ton of power off of this brace, but I can also collapse it. Don't want to do that in front of a customer. So now we're looking to create power, but we have to do it in a way where you're looking at it like this. Okay, here's my solution for working this dent just underneath this brace.
Basically going to take advantage of that corner strength of this brace. So my dent being right there, direct pressure real close to it, coming in from this taillight is just too far away to really get some power initially. So I'm going to do this with my Panel Pro dent dial. Slight bend tip. Let's see here. So I'm going to put a clamp over here to keep that in place. And just the weight of it's going to hold it together. And then as I push on it, I'll be able to stand up here, look over the top, press down, and start pushing.
During the estimate, when I was looking at the vehicle, the customer had the interior taken apart. So when I got up inside there and I got this view, I visualized this push with that setup. So now I feel so much better now that I actually am in the push. I'm seeing the power I'm going to get. I knew this repair was going to go well. And that's where you have to really train yourself. And that's what I teach in the course, is how to think through a repair away from also the easy access options. You know, when you're learning paintless dent repair and used car lots, you try and do everything from the taillight. And if it gets you so far, that's it, you move on. In retail, it's not like that at all. You really have to open up the access, think about alternate angles in order to make sure you're seeing it in all the angles that will make the difference in really, really detailing the repair so it comes out really nice.
Also like that. And finally, from your third angle, which would be from here. That's the goal.
And so there's a chance for you, the veteran technician, to go in and do repairs like this, and you can make some great money, but it is a different form, at least in my opinion, of a PDR method when you're pushing out dents without beating up the middle with hundreds and hundreds of pushes and tapping down the outside with hundreds and hundreds of taps and kind of just spinning around and round and round. That's not what I do, and that's not what keeps me busy, because if I did that, I wouldn't get those calls back from people that are car people, and they're going to walk right up to your work and they want to see it nice. That's what the game is about, and staying busy and getting referrals and getting their friends. And there's a way of doing this where you're using that body line on the panel. It has a memory. It does. And it wants to go back to that original shape. Just have to know the different sequence in when to push, when to tap, and read it without any lights. All of the reflections around it tell you everything. At least that's what I'm teaching in my course. Check it out, dentexperttraining.com. Let's see how this repair went.
Okay, you saw that one setup with my Panel Pro. Next setup is going to be the 35 Heavy. This is one of my favorite tools I have because it's so strong. It's really great on my body. So I'm just going to take this eye bolt, get it inside there. I like that spot there. There we go. I like that. Good pivot power. Make sure you put the sled on the other side so you can really have no issues with it holding on and being really strong. And there you go. Good pivoting power. Right straight on the dent. Excellent for fine finishing because I'm going to be looking over the top right there. This is after the very first few pushes. So I did raise it up. You notice this isn't super tight, and that's what you don't want it, is to see a big tight spot there or some tight spot there from a round tip. See, a round tip will just make a little push, little push, little push, and then you have to detail all those. You want something big like that. Look how big that is. Nice and smooth. So next is going to be really keeping an eye on these crowns. I'm going to try and get one more push in there, one more over here, and then just really start attacking this with the slapper tapper and not trying to knock more paint off. Okay, here's where I'm at right now. Got some good pushes in there. Remember, you gotta keep it nice and smooth. So no round tips or anything like that, because all you're gonna do is just make a stitch mark. So far it's been the everyday tip at the 3/8 size and that 35 heavy setup. As you can see in here, I gotta get in there, detail this out. I got my crowns where I want them. You can still see a little bit more here. It's funny, the phone will pick up a crown better than I can, it seems, looking at it. Okay, keep going. Okay, I got some really good progress on this. Got to get to that low right there. Got to get to this one. Nice and smooth though. Now the issue here is, if you're looking at it correctly, this is about the angle I should be seeing this dent in. But from inside I can't do that because the door would be in my way. So now I definitely have to use this opening and come up inside there and really do some detailing with some power. And I think I can generate that with a good strong rod and a screw-on tip. All done with this Chevy 70s van. Pretty cool. The guy put a kind of a flip-up side door, which is pretty cool. So let's check this out. There it is, all done. No cracking of the paint or additional cracking of the paint. Just kept it really hot and pushed it with a lot of power. That's the thing, you need a lot of power to push out dents. It's not, at least I believe, it's not done with sharp, small, round tips. It would just beat it up. There you go. So PDR takes a combination of skill and tools, but mostly skill. It's not the tools, it's how you use them. Thanks for watching these setups for the Dent dial.